The sky over New Manhattan shimmered with a lattice of holographic billboards, each one a weapon in the endless war for attention. Faces grinned down from the neon fog, politicians promising green futures, influencers selling synthetic lifestyles, car companies unveiling self-driving fleets that glowed like jewelry. Even the air smelled engineered, a sweet tang of ozone and recycled citrus pumped through the city's filtration towers. Alex Reyes tugged at the collar of their suit, a tailored hand-me-down from their father's youth. The fabric was fine enough to pass, but the cut felt dated in a world where image was currency. Ahead of them, the glass tower of the Reyes family residence caught the last streaks of daylight, burning gold across its mirrored surface. A drone whirred overhead, scanning retinas, registering arrivals. Inside, Alex's family was already gathering for the graduation dinner, an event less about celebrating education and more about reinforcing hierarchy. Alex's sister Sabrina had made sure of that. The elevator opened into the 32nd floor, releasing a wash of sound. Laughter, clinking glasses, the pulse of curated music designed by Sabrina's personal AI. The apartment was vast, a cathedral of glass and chrome, walls alive with shifting displays of family milestones. Sabrina's face dominated them all. Her acceptance letter to Columbia Neo, her debutante gala last spring, her most liked holopost flaunting the midnight blue Tesla her parents had gifted her 3 weeks ago. The car had its own dedicated projection on the wall, spinning slowly in luminous 3 dimensions, every angle polished to perfection. Alex paused at the threshold. Their reflection hovered faintly in the glass floor beneath them, blurred, secondary, easy to overlook. "Alex!" Their mother's voice, sharp and cheerful, sliced across the room. She wore a silver-sheath dress that clung to her figure with the kind of engineered perfection only biomaterial could manage. "Finally!" "We thought maybe you missed the shuttle." Alex forced a smile and stepped inside. "Bus was running late." "Bus?" Sabrina repeated from the sofa, her voice dripping with disbelief. She reclined like a queen, her Tesla's digital twin still glowing above her. "Oh, Alex, you really know how to make an entrance." Her friends laughed politely. Alex kept walking, each step controlled. "Some of us don't need a light show to prove we exist." Their father, Victor Reyes, appeared with a drink in hand. His suit was a whisper of nanofiber that shifted color with the lighting, always flattering, always commanding attention. He clapped Alex on the shoulder, too firmly. "Don't mind your sister," he said. "She's earned a little shine." Valedictorian, internship secured at Helios Energy, a brand new Tesla. "That's how it's done, Alex." "Not everyone measures success in horsepower," Alex murmured, but Victor wasn't listening. He was already guiding Sabrina toward a group of investors by the window, bragging about her trajectory as though she were an asset portfolio. Alex drifted toward the refreshment table, scanning the spread. Plates of engineered sushi that glowed faintly under the lights, champagne poured by robotic servers, desserts shaped into corporate logos. All curated, all performative. And then Marcus arrived. "Eiffel," Sabrina said, raising her glass. That almost sounded bitter. Marcus Reyes, cousin and eternal antagonist, made his entrance in a tailored coat that shimmered like liquid steel. A small fleet of camera drones followed him, broadcasting every angle of his smirk. "Alex," Marcus said, sweeping in for a too-tight hug. "Still rocking vintage threads?" Bold choice. Retro is very thrifty. Alex's jaw tightened. "Not everyone needs a sponsorship deal to get dressed." Marcus grinned, baring perfect teeth. "Touché, but then again, not everyone gets offers." He waved a hand, and one of his drones projected a highlight reel of his latest ventures, nightclubs, startups, a new VR capsule launch. Applause followed from nearby relatives. "Marcus just signed a deal with 2 major firms," their father called from across the room. "That's initiative," Marcus winked, "and Sabrina gets the Tesla." Perfect symmetry, don't you think? Golden girl, golden boy. And then there's Alex, steady, reliable, always in the background. Heat prickled at the base of Alex's neck. They wanted to fire back, to expose just how shallow Marcus's empire really was, but the timing wasn't right. Not yet. Instead, Alex smiled faintly. Backgrounds make the picture possible. Without them, it's all just noise. Marcus blinked, caught off guard by the calmness. But Sabrina jumped in, rescuing the moment. Alex, please. No one comes to these dinners for philosophy. Laughter rippled again. Alex swallowed the sting. Later, when the noise thinned and the investors shifted their attention, Alex found their parents near the bar. The Tesla hologram still spun lazily above the room. "Mom, Dad," Alex began, keeping their voice low. "About graduation tomorrow. Could I borrow the family car?" Their mother tilted her head. "Which one?" "The Audi. Just for the ceremony. I'll have it back by evening." Victor frowned. "That's complicated. We'll need it for guests, and Sabrina needs the Tesla for her photos." Alex tried again. "It's my graduation too." Sabrina appeared, sensing weakness. "You don't need a car for that, Alex. Just hop on the bus like always. It's authentic, very grassroots." Her smile was razor sharp. Their parents chuckled softly, almost apologetic, but not enough. "She's right," Victor said. "The bus is fine, practical, fits you." The words landed like stones. Alex nodded, their throat tight. "Of course, practical, that's me." They turned away before anyone could see their expression. An hour later, Alex stood on the balcony, watching the skyline flicker with advertisements. Sabrina's laughter carried from inside, high and victorious. Marcus's drones buzzed like gnats. Their parents were still mingling, their smiles polished, their pride fixed firmly on the golden children. Alex let the city's neon wash over them, a tide of wealth and want. Beneath the jacket sleeve, their wrist implant pulsed softly, the notification light they'd kept silenced all evening. Messages were waiting, updates from a project no one in that room knew about, a project that could, in time, rewrite everything. Alex exhaled, steady and deliberate. They would take the bus tomorrow, yes. They would let Sabrina shine for now. They would endure Marcus's smirks and their parents' dismissals. But the balance was shifting, and no one else could see it yet. Not until Alex chose the moment. The restaurant shimmered like a jewel carved into the spine of New Manhattan's Central Tower. Transparent walls revealed a panorama of the city below. Hover lanes lit like molten veins, skyscrapers topped with pulsing holograms, the bay beyond filled with glimmering traffic of ferries and freight drones. Inside, the air was perfumed with saffron and engineered truffle, a calculated scent meant to project opulence. The Reyes family had reserved the Solarium Hall, a private chamber that could shift its ambience on command. Tonight it glowed amber, warm and celebratory, the walls alive with shifting projections of Sabrina's Tesla. The car pirouetted in mid-air like a dancer, sleek, perfect, the star of the evening. Alex adjusted their jacket and scanned the table. 30 seats stretched down the glowing length of crystal, and nearly everyone was filled by relatives, investors, and hangers-on orbiting the Reyes family's wealth. Sabrina sat at the head beside their parents, her Tesla still twirling behind her like a halo. Her friends clustered near, all teeth and compliments. Alex had been placed near the far end, close enough to hear the laughter, far enough to be forgotten. They sank into the chair, the hum of conversation rising around them. Glasses clinked, dishes appeared on levitating trays, courses curated by AI chefs, every bite photogenic, branded for virality. Alex picked at a piece of glowing sashimi, its bioluminescent edges pulsing faintly, more sculpture than food. At the head of the table, Victor Reyes raised his glass. "To Sabrina," he declared, his voice carrying with magnetic authority. "Valedictorian, Helios Energy intern, owner of the first Tesla X900 in the family, a shining example of the Reyes name. The room erupted in applause. Sabrina basked in it, smiling with practiced charm. Alex clapped once, then let their hands rest on their lap. The sound barely carried. The doors whispered open. A murmur rippled down the table. A newcomer stepped inside, a tall figure in a midnight suit, shoulders relaxed, gaze sharp. Jordan Vale. Alex had heard the name before, rumors of a family friend's protege, freshly returned from a tech exchange in the Pacific Arcologies. Stylish, but not flashy. Confident without screaming it. The kind of person who didn't need a hologram following them around to be noticed. Victor's smile widened. "Ah, Jordan, we're honored." Jordan inclined their head, then scanned the room. Their gaze skimmed past Sabrina, past Marcus, past the glowing Tesla hologram, then stopped at Alex, and held. Alex felt it like static against their skin. Victor gestured toward the cluster near the head. "Come, sit with us." But Jordan was already moving, fluid and deliberate, down the length of the table. Their eyes didn't waver. They reached the empty seat beside Alex and slid in. "Hope this spot isn't taken," Jordan said. Alex blinked. "It's all yours." The table noise dulled for Alex, the chatter fading as Jordan leaned close. "So," Jordan said lightly, "I heard your ride tonight was public transportation." Alex almost laughed. "Word travels fast." Jordan's smile curved, playful. "Was it true?" Alex smirked. "Yep, bus number 78. Not as shiny as a Tesla, but buses don't need charging, and sometimes you meet the right people on the ride." Jordan's laugh was sudden, unrestrained, ringing through the room. Heads turned. A few relatives frowned, curious. For the first time that night, attention swung toward Alex. Marcus pounced, leaning forward from across the table, his drones hovering to catch every angle of his grin. "Of course Alex took the bus," Marcus said loudly. "They wouldn't know what to do with a Tesla. Imagine them trying to keep up with auto navigation, please." Chuckles bubbled from their parents, low and indulgent. Victor added, "Alex has always been practical. A bus suits them, no maintenance, no responsibility." The words stung, dressed as humor but cutting deep. Jordan tilted their head, studying Alex with a spark of interest. "Funny," they said softly. "Responsibility looks pretty natural on you." The comment landed like a subtle grenade. Marcus blinked. Sabrina's smile tightened. Dinner stretched on, course after course of glittering cuisine. Conversation flowed, but the undercurrent pressed harder. Sabrina raised her glass again. "I just want to thank Mom and Dad for recognizing real achievement. The Tesla isn't just a car, it's a symbol, a reward for dedication, vision, excellence." She flicked a glance down the table toward Alex. "Not everyone gets one of those." The laugh that followed was too sharp. Marcus added fuel. "You should start a vlog, Alex. Life from the back seat. Bus tours, discount dining, the authentic experience." Even Victor chuckled. Practical branding. You'd get views. Heat crept into Alex's chest. They could feel Jordan watching them, waiting for their reaction. Alex set their fork down, steady. "Funny thing about buses," they said, their voice clear, carrying farther than expected. "They don't go fast. They don't sparkle, but they take you places you didn't think you'd reach." A hush spread, small but noticeable. Marcus scoffed. "What places could a bus possibly take you that a Tesla couldn't?" Alex's heart thudded once, then steadied. The moment was there. Not the full reveal, not yet, but a spark. They met Marcus's eyes. Sometimes the destination isn't on a map. Sometimes it's about who's on the ride with you. Jordan smiled faintly, lips curving as if in agreement. Sabrina rolled her eyes. "Poetic, but poetry doesn't buy influence." "No," Alex said softly. "It earns it." The silence after was heavier than expected. Forks paused. Even the holographic Tesla seemed to spin slower. Alex felt their pulse in their wrists, the weight of every eye on them. For years, they had been the shadow child, the background figure. Tonight, with a few words and Jordan's laugh echoing in memory, they had shifted the axis, just a little. They could feel Sabrina's irritation, Marcus's disbelief, their parents' unease. And under it all, Jordan's quiet approval. Alex picked up their glass and took a slow sip, as though the moment had cost them nothing at all. The courses rolled on. Sabrina tried to reclaim attention with stories of her internship. Marcus bragged about his latest VR lounge. Their parents nodded, clapped, performed pride. But the energy had changed. Whispers travelled. Relatives glanced toward Alex now and then. Curiosity sparked. Jordan leaned closer, their voice low. "You enjoy rattling cages, don't you?" Alex smirked. "Only when they deserve it." "Good," Jordan said, their gaze steady. "The world needs more of that." The words sank deeper than Alex expected, threading warmth through the tension. By the time dessert arrived, towers of crystallized fruit, spun sugar shaped like corporate logos. Alex knew the night had shifted. The insults had landed, yes, but so had their words. They weren't invisible anymore, and tomorrow, when the time came, they would be ready to push further. For now, they let Sabrina bask a little longer, let Marcus preen, let their parents cling to material pride. Because Alex had patience, and patience was power. And somewhere down the table, Jordan's laughter lingered like a promise. The evening stretched into its final course, the restaurant's walls shifting from amber to a slow drifting violet, as though the sky itself had seeped into the solarium hall. Plates of crystallized fruit and spun sugar pyramids hovered over the table, rotating for the cameras that buzzed discreetly above. Most eyes were still on Sabrina, who was mid-story about her Tesla's biometric interface, explaining in great detail how it synced to her pulse and adjusted the seat temperature to her mood. But down the length of the table, attention began to drift. Not toward the car's hologram spinning in the air behind her, but toward the quiet laughter coming from Alex's end, where Jordan Vale leaned closer, conspiratorial. Alex had never commanded an audience in this family before, but the moment had shifted. The silence earlier, after their bus remark, had created cracks in the golden surface, and Jordan deliberately was widening them. Jordan set their glass down, eyes gleaming with curiosity. "So," they said, in a tone just loud enough to carry 2 seats over, "you mentioned buses. What's the real story, Alex? You always this humble or just hiding something good?" Fawkes paused mid-air. Marcus glanced up from his dessert with a smirk. Sabrina's eyes narrowed. Alex breathed in slowly, the air thick with saffron and ozone. The choice was clear: shrink back or let the moment breathe. They placed their own glass down with deliberate calm. "Depends on what you call good?" Jordan tilted their head. "Surprise me." Alex leaned back, not rushed, letting the table's curiosity coil tighter. "I've been building something. A mobile platform, nothing flashy, just an app for students who can't afford private tutors. It uses adaptive AI to personalize lessons." A small pause. The Tesla hologram spun behind Sabrina, casting cold light across her face. Alex continued, voice steady. "It launched 6 months ago. Yesterday it passed 100,000 downloads." The silence that followed wasn't empty, it was charged. Marcus barked a short laugh, too loud. "An app? Cute, but downloads don't mean revenue." Alex didn't look at him. "True, which is why I partnered with 2 non-profits. Grants keep the platform free. It's not about profit, it's about access." Jordan's smile deepened, sharp with appreciation. "That's actually impressive." Across the table, Sabrina's fork clinked against her plate. Victor Reyes cleared his throat, shifting uncomfortably. "That's admirable, Alex. Very community-driven. But you know, Sabrina's Tesla is a recognition of achievement in established industries, reliable pathways, family legacies Sabrina picked up quickly." "Exactly. Cars' energy investment portfolios, Those are real achievements. Apps come and go. Alex finally turned their gaze to her, calm but cutting. So do cars. They depreciate the moment you drive them. A ripple of laughter traveled down the table, small, then growing. Some cousins tried to smother it behind napkins. Sabrina flushed, her practiced composure wobbling. Jordan leaned in again, eyes dancing. "And what about you, Alex? Where's your path headed?" Alex felt the question settle like a stone. Then they answered. "I was offered a full scholarship. Quantum Systems at Pacifica University. Starts this fall." The silence this time was heavier. Relatives stared. Marcus's smirk faltered. Sabrina's mouth opened, then closed. Victor blinked. "Pacifica? That's top 3 in the world," Alex said softly. "They don't usually give full scholarships." But apparently they liked my bus ticket resume. Jordan's laugh burst sharp and genuine. A few others followed, this time warmer, directed not at Alex but with them. Alex could have stopped there, but the moment demanded more. They rested their hands lightly on the table. "And while I was working on the app, I started mentoring students in Old District. Kids with no access to the city schools. Some of them just got accepted into academies. They'll be the first in their families to go." The table hushed. Marcus shifted in his seat. Sabrina stabbed her dessert without tasting it. Their mother, Eleanor, frowned as though processing an equation. "You never told us this." Alex met her gaze. "You never asked?" The silence broke when Jordan raised their glass. Their voice was light, but it carried, threaded with steel. "Now that's success. Forget Teslas. I'd rather ride the bus with you any day." The laugh that erupted this time was explosive, genuine. It rolled down the table, pulling in uncles, cousins, even some of Sabrina's sycophant friends. The sound was different, less polite, more alive. Sabrina sat frozen, smile strained. Marcus dropped his eyes to his plate. Their parents exchanged a look that was equal parts pride and discomfort, as though seeing Alex for the first time and realizing they had miscalculated. Alex sipped their drink, heart steady, face unreadable. Inside, a warmth spread, not triumph, but release. Years of dismissal condensed into this moment, not through cruelty, but through truth. The dinner staggered forward. Conversation shifted, hesitant at first, then increasingly directed toward Alex. Aunts asked about the app, uncles about the scholarship. Even Victor, grudging, leaned in to ask how the mentoring worked. Sabrina tried twice to redirect attention back to her Tesla, but each attempt felt forced, transparent. Marcus remained silent, chewing like every bite was bitter. Jordan stayed close, their body angled toward Alex, their banter soft but steady. When Alex cracked a quiet joke about bus brand entrepreneurship, Jordan laughed so loudly even the servers smiled. For the first time in memory, Alex wasn't the shadow at this table. They were the grav. Later, when the hall emptied into night, Alex slipped out onto the balcony terrace. The city stretched vast below, neon arteries pulsing, drones tracing constellations across the dark. The air smelled faintly of rain on glass. Behind them, Sabrina posed by the Tesla hologram, her friends snapping endless photos for feeds that already felt hollow. Marcus sulked near the bar, scrolling through metrics that weren't climbing fast enough. Their parents lingered with investors, voices tight. Alex leaned against the railing, breathing deep. "Escaped!" Jordan's voice came from behind. Alex glanced back. Jordan stepped onto the terrace, jacket loose, hair catching the glow of city light. "For a minute," Alex said. Jordan joined them at the rail. For a while they just looked out, the silence easy. Then Jordan said, "You know, I think you enjoy turning the ground under people's feet without raising your voice." Alex smirked. "Silent revenge." "Stylish revenge," Jordan corrected. "The best kind." Jordan shifted closer, not quite touching, but enough that the warmth carried across the inch of space. "So, bus or not, do I get to join the ride sometime?" Alex laughed quietly, tension unspooling. Depends. You okay with slow routes? As long as they lead somewhere interesting, Jordan said, eyes steady. They stood like that, the noise of the family fading behind them, the Tesla hologram spinning useless in the corner. Alex felt it then, not just victory, but clarity. The night hadn't been about humiliating Sabrina or Marcus or even their parents. It had been about showing themselves, finally, unhidden. Success measured not in metal or holograms, but in lives touched, paths opened, authenticity carried with steady hands. And in that moment, with Jordan's quiet spark beside them, Alex knew the bus route was only just beginning. Inside, Sabrina raised her glass again for a staged photo, smiling too brightly, desperate for likes. Marcus barked into a comm, trying to salvage relevance. Their parents clung to conversations that no longer revolved around them. But out on the terrace, Alex simply smiled, the city lights glinting in their eyes. Jordan nudged them gently. So, mind if I join you on your bus route sometime? Alex looked at them, then back at the glowing sprawl of New Manhattan. The air tasted sharp, alive. Yeah, Alex said softly. I think that'd be worth the ride. And the night closed on that note, not of spectacle, but of truth.